I know that everyone don't have to watch my video. Maybe my face is very ugly, but I do have a point. I don't care. Where's the white privilege? I just can't find it. Got it. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Now, recently there have been a spate of videos coming out about whether being foreigners being good for Japan, or black people being dangerous in Japan, or vice versa. And a lot of things have been led by conjecture as well as stereotypes and things not being based entirely in fact, as well as not exploring nuances and complexities, because everything is not black and white in the world. You know, although black and white, oh, interesting. Black, white, race, color. Right. And so I wanted to address some of these issues based on the limited information I could find on the internet from the Ministry of Justice as well as the Japan Times. I'll provide the links down below to say, are foreigners really bad for Japan? And if there is a correlation that may lead to causation. So for example, if there's a correlation between foreigners in Japan and the Japanese economy, or a correlation between foreigners in Japan and crime. And probably can get breaking down the prefecture. But we don't have exact and very recent data, if you know what I mean. But from what I've found, we can come together as intellectual people or persons who are willing to learn and have an open mind to look at the statistics, make our conclusions and inferences from that, and then we can say, well, this makes sense or this doesn't make sense. Or based on the statistics we have, this is what may maintain. But as usual, you have exceptions to the rule and outliers. So then again, you know, we're trying to be all balanced and scientific here, which is what we're supposed to. Or we can form opinions based on what you can see. But the thing about statistics is, guys, is that you can manipulate it in any way which to tell your narrative or your story. But I'm going to present the data that I've found, and we're going to go through it together. Crime has been trending down in Japan, and it has been at a record low this year, up to this year, February, I think, of about 915, call it 920,000 crimes, reported and registered crimes. Good. Now, the top 3 crime prefectures here in Japan are Tokyo, Aichi, then Osaka. Yes. And there seems to be a high correlation of Chinese and South Koreans in each of these prefectures. But not as much Americans or Brits or Africans, because that's where black people come from, I guess. And so if we can find ways to analyze the number of foreigners in each of these prefectures and then map it to how they rank in terms of number, in terms of economy as well as statistics, then we can then make a conclusion based on that. So not all correlations mean causation, but if there's causation, then there's a correlation. All right, so let's go check it out. All right, guys, so here we are. We're looking at the Japan Times news here, and it says this article was written in. The article was written in. When was it written? March 2017, and says a record 2.38 million foreign residents living in Japan in 2016. All right, so, and I'm sure that number has increased by now. All right, so that's we're working with that figure there. And so we head over to the Bloomberg section here to see let's see how the crime in Japan. Japan in crime falls to the lowest level in more than 70 years. And if this article was written this year, February, and it says crimes go down with recovery of the economy. Now, as you can see, the crime rate has been steadily declining here, right? As well as and you see the correlation with the jobs, right? It's moving down. Now, since 1989, I'm sure, and I'm 100% positive that the foreign population in Japan has increased since that time, right? So there we can also see there's a negative correlation, meaning when one factor increases, the other decreases. So as the number of foreigners increase in Japan, the crime goes down. Based on what this information is telling me here, you understand me? I can make that assumption, right? That's how I can, but that might not necessarily be the case. There might not be any causation, you know. There might be a correlation, but there might not be a causation that because foreigners come to Japan, crime has decreased. But this here proves that because of the number of people who have now gained employment, the crime goes down. Everything has gone on aggravated theft. People have good jobs now, so they don't need to steal, according to Mr. Akiyoshi Takumori. All right, murder has gone down. Only thing that has said has an uptick is rape. And I think because they are actually redefine what rape is in Japan, to include also indecent assault and I guess funneling and that sort of thing. All right. There's also been fewer suicides, as this article highlights. But of course, the sense of safety is rising. Japan is safe, and that's why most people are here. But scams have been skyrocketing, and the crowd is actually called ore ore. They have a term for it called ore ore, which means it's me, which is being led by who? Because it would have to be somebody who has the ability to speak Japanese fluently to pull off these scams. So that's one thing we can say, that crime has been increased. Under whose influence, we don't know. But let's look at what the major thing here: the foreign statistics, number of foreign residents in Japan, and by prefecture. Now, I deliberately manipulated this table to show the number of persons in each prefecture. All right. Because the rank is different in terms of the standard score they use, the correlative score, because of the population in each prefecture would vary. So they have to have something to standardize it across all prefectures, which is per 100 persons. All right. How many foreigners you see per 100 Japanese persons? Now, if we are to look at this here, you notice that, of course, Tokyo is at the top with 521,088 persons, followed by Aichi, then Osaka, which is kind of a surprise. Then Kanagawa, Saitama, Chiba, Hyogo, Shizuoka, Fukuoka, Ibaraki, all the way down. And you can see, you can come all the way down here. The link will be provided below for you to check for yourself. Now, remember, our top 3 crime prefectures are Tokyo, number 1, Osaka, number 2, and Aichi, number 3. All right? So let's see if we can... And in the article here, it says that Chinese constituted the largest group of registered foreign residents at 695,000. South Koreans second, Filipinos third. So the Americans don't even reach it. That's so yet, you know. All the largest contingent of foreigners are still Asian. So why is it that persons are not going after the Asians and cursing them, say, oh, why are the Chinese that is, why are the South Koreans that is, why are the Filipinos that is? But they make videos about black people and how they're dangerous for Japan. Oh boy. Anyways. Let's move on. And among those illegally staying in Japan, 13,000 are Korean, 8,000 from China, 6,000 from Thailand. You see, it's them own Asian people. Them own Asian. The Asians are the ones that are illegally staying here. Top 5. All right? Now, let us see. So if we were to actually use the standard score, the correlative score, the number 1 would be Tokyo, then Aichi, all right, with an average of 3.12 persons. I don't know how you get 0.12 of a person, but yeah. And Gunma, Mie, Osaka is number 5 in terms of the ratio of foreigner per 100 Japanese, which is really interesting. I never thought I'd see something like that. Now let's look at the prefectural income, which is measured by the business income, the compensation an employee would get. All right. Let's just tap into this thing here. All right, so the prefectural income here, it says it's based on the compensation of employees, property income, business income, etc., etc. And it shows which prefecture is really the richest. Of course, Tokyo is ranked number 1. All right, with 6 trillion. Is that 6 trillion? This is 3 zeros and it's another 1,000. So about 6 trillion. Followed by Aichi. Interesting. Because Aichi has a lot of factories and stuff. So I guess, you know, Toyota company and other major motor places have their factories in Aichi and Shizuoka. Shizuoka, then Tochigi, then Toyama. Whoa! Where's Osaka? Damn, Osaka is number 13 in terms of per person, I think. But they have actually 2.66 trillion as a prefectural income here. And Kanagawa as well, 2.664. So Kanagawa is probably more than Aichi in terms of the amount. But per 1 population here, using the standard score, the correlation, yeah. Wow, that's interesting. All right. So please remember, as we said, Tokyo, Osaka, Aichi, right? So let's see how many American residents are in these areas to see if there's any correlation with the top crime areas and the amount of Americans or in in that area. All right. So the greatest number of American residents in Japan per 100,000 is Okinawa, followed by Tokyo, Kanagawa, Kyoto, and Hyogo. Interesting. Right, but the number of persons, in terms of sheer numbers here, guys, and this is at 2015, based on this information here, Stats Japan, Tokyo, Kanagawa, Osaka, Aichi. So it pretty much follows that with the largest number of persons there, the trend kind of continues with the Americans as well. It looks very similar, eerily similar. Okay, let's look at the Filipinos and where they stand as foreigners in Japan. So the number of persons, in terms of the standard score, it's Aichi number 2. Tokyo is not even in top. Tokyo makes the top 10, but Osaka is nowhere near inside. But in terms of the number of persons, Aichi has the most Filipinos in Japan as of 2015, which is really interesting. Tokyo is followed by number 2. Osaka is number 9. All right. Right. Did you look at this already? Yes. Foreign residents. Nice. All right. So look at that already. Where are the Chinese? Let's look at the Chinese and the Chinese have to offer here. Now the Chinese, in terms of people, Tokyo followed by Kanagawa, Saitama, Osaka, Aichi. See, Tokyo, Osaka, Aichi still holds. But if we're going to use the standard score, Tokyo is number 1, followed by Aichi, then Osaka. So there's a little change there. So what can we deduct from this information here? Are foreigners really bad for Japan? Because if we go back to the income here, the prefectural income, Tokyo is number 1, Aichi is number 2. Right? Osaka is way down there at 13 in terms of the standard score. So we notice that the crime in these areas are pretty high, but also the prefectural income is also pretty high in terms of their standard scores. So is it that wherever the money is higher, there's more crime? There's more. What can we say about this information that has been presented to us here? And that's the real crucial thing. Now, from based on what I have seen here, we can't even tell, they don't have the breakdown by race, which would have been really interesting, so we could even dive deeper into what exactly is the, let me just double check here, the geography. Right, to dive in to see what would be the correlation there. But as we said before, Americans are mostly in Okinawa, Tokyo, Kanagawa, Kyoto, and Hyogo. Aichi is number 8. But in terms of crime, Aichi is number 3. And so there's no real relationship as far as I'm concerned yet. I will have to probably get some more stats. What do you guys think? Do you think foreigners have a bad influence in Japan, or, you know, that sort of thing? All right, let me send you back to Live Dre. 1 second. Based on that information that I just presented to you guys, I could come up with a wide range of conclusions and inferences based on that. But I won't, because I don't have the full scope of the data. I don't have everything broken down in terms of race. Although some people might have had more information, they still did not prove anything except drive a narrative almost akin to hate speech against a particular race of people. Now, why not attack the other foreigners that are obviously here with bigger numbers and have a greater effect on your economy, or a greater effect on crime here in Japan, or a greater effect on how your life is affected? So please, let's stop this nonsense. Open your mind, do your own research, and see what's really out there. Never let someone else's opinions be your facts. Find out for yourself. Research. See you guys. See you. Love you. Bye.